Welcome back to the Paul Drockton radio program and my website, Dead Man Musings, where you can find the Paul Drockton Coin Shop. Now, we've added something to the coin shop, and that's 10-ounce silver bars. And let me tell you something. This stuff is getting scarce. A lot of the major suppliers are out of various products, and it looks like who knows when they're going to get more. So, when you look at the price of silver, understand that price is determined by the options market, which is manipulated, as I pointed out, by J.P. Morgan, which trades 80% of these options and can control the price through shorting the market or by going long. I don't think they've gone long in a long time. I think they're just shorting just to keep the price down so that people don't panic. That's what it's all about. But you look at what's happening as far as scarcity, as far as the availability of this stuff, and it's drying up, my friends. I'm telling you right now. I am in this business, and it's becoming harder and harder to find good sources. Now, I still have some, and I think that if you're thinking about getting into this, getting into silver, right now is the time. And because after the election, I really don't see any reason for these people to care. I just don't. I don't think they care about anything after this election. I think what they're going to do is they're going to bring this economy down, and I think what they're going to do is they're going to start a war. That's my opinion. I think they're laying the groundwork. I talked about it last night with the WikiLeaks and with, by the way, the country is Sweden, not Holland, where the founder of WikiLeaks is at. The same country that's forcing David Dees out of the country. So letting this guy go around leaking massive intelligence documents. Go figure that one out and ask yourself if this guy is not part of the problem, if he isn't controlled by the intelligence agencies. Of course, I'm referring to the WikiLeaks founder, not David Dees, because David Dees is being gang-stalked, he's being harassed, he's being persecuted, he's literally being driven from the country. And all because of his political satire and his cartoons. Well, meanwhile, the WikiLeaks guy seems to be able to go wherever he wants, the nicest restaurants, and no one's bothering him. So it's a setup. War's coming. As soon as this election is over, these people are going to back down to business. Of course, they're not going to start a war with Iran now. They're going to wait till after these elections. Why? I don't know. They control them anyway. But anyway, getting back to what happened with Clear Channel. So Clear Channel, when you look at it, Rush Limbaugh came out of nowhere. He was known as the majority maker. And what he did is he laid the groundwork during Clinton's term for a Bush-controlled Congress. Now, hear me out here. George Bush, in order for him to get elected president, he knew he needed to control most of the governor's seats, and that he also needed a Republican majority in Congress. So the whole purpose of Clear Channel was to create a Bush majority. And the reason I bring that up is because I can prove it. George Bush was partners, the Mays family, first of all, that was the founders of Clear Channel, and still are with the company. They are from Texas. And so was the chairman of Clear Channel. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, that individual was partners with George Bush the second, George Bush Jr., in ownership with the Texas Rangers. And basically, they were all working together to lay the groundwork for him to have control of all the branches of government, because that's what it takes to pass legislation that was passed. That's my opinion. So anyway, look what's going on right now. You know, you've got the Obama nation, and basically you've got a Democratic majority in Congress, and now all of a sudden, Clear Channel, once again, is laying the groundwork for someone's presidency. They're laying the groundwork for someone to take over all these governorships, for someone to take over the House of Representatives and for someone to take over the Senate. And those someones are called the Tea Party. And it's pretty intriguing to me that the Tea Party has gone from a grassroots movement, supposedly. I don't believe it ever was one. It got too much media attention. I mean, when you're going to take on a system, the last thing you're going to get is media. They're not going to give you any publicity. They give publicity to movements they want to succeed and expand, no matter what they are. So understand when something just appears out of nowhere on a national level, and you've got the media all over it, that 9 times out of 10, it was created by the establishment. So Clear Channel, once again, is being used as the mouthpiece through Glenn Beck for this new Republican revolution. And now I'm going to argue this. Because Bain Capital owns Clear Channel, and because Mitt Romney is the heir apparent to George Bush, that these people are trying to create a Romney Congress. And they're trying to create Romney governorships, and that in reality, Romney, through his ownership and through Bain Capital's ownership of Clear Channel, is just the natural successor to George Bush. He is the heir apparent. So this is laying the groundwork for him to come in for 2 years from now and have everybody in place, just like George Bush did. And Clear Channel's playing the major role. Only this time, instead of Rush Limbaugh, we've got Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, the Messiah, the guy who says all the right things but works for the wrong people. This guy comes in, is the self-anointed leader of this revolution called the Tea Party, says all the right things, appeals to people's sense of justice and truth, and talks about the Constitution, and yet he's not willing to talk about any of the real threats to the Constitution. One, of course, was 9/11. Now, if you don't acknowledge that there is a conspiracy, then you got to be part of it when you're in that kind of a position. Also on my website, you will see that there's a banner ad for Allison C. Allison C is amazing. It really is amazing, and I'm telling you, it's hard to keep it on the shelves because people are now starting to buy it in bulk because they see what's coming down the road, down the pipe, and they want to make sure that they are protected from viruses, bacteria, biological weapons, fungus, whatever they throw at you. This stuff is great. Also, if you're being victimized by the Gulf oil disaster, you need something to protect your immune system. I recommend this stuff. Allison C, available through my site.